I'm Louise. My son is Freddie. He's 3.5 years old, and we have been part of each for about 2 years now. My son was diagnosed with a life-limiting degenerative condition when he was 8 months old, and I self-referred him and us as a family unit to each when he was about 18 months. I first heard about it, I think one of the nurses mentioned it to me, and I'm quite interested in photography anyway. I quite enjoy taking photos, so it just captured my attention. I didn't really know what to expect or how it would plan out, or that it would actually take the whole group of us together on such a journey. I also wanted to get more involved in things as a parent at the treehouse. A lot of how we spend time and our contact with the treehouse is for Freddie's care, as opposed to for mine or my husband's own well-being. So I wanted to get involved in that side of things more as well. I took this photo at a place very dear to my heart when my husband and I have walked for hours, since before we ever had Freddie, when starting a family was our dream, but also during my pregnancy and regularly since we had him. It's become a place of comfort and growth. I've laughed here and I've cried and I've grieved. On the particular day I took this photo, I looked at this view and realised all the years I have always taken the same path. If we'd ever deviated from that path, we always had a conversation about it first. For the first time, I saw it differently, and it made me think of life in general. Our paths we're expected and ourselves expect to walk. It occurred to me that you only really start paying attention when you're on a different path, different to what you thought and different to your peers and your loved ones. I took this photo whilst I was still getting to grips with the camera. I was being silly with Freddie. I kept it in the final cut because I thought it fit in nicely with the path photo. This is our journey, this is our path, and it's Freddie who's guiding us and teaching us along the way. This photo was taken at the treehouse. I love the sunlight through the trees. It's so piercing that it completely blots out a few tree trunks. It very much embodies the saying, "There's light at the end of the tunnel," and that signifies hope. We choose hope. Not hope of a cure, but hope of a fulfilled family life of happiness and love during our time together. This photo was pure chance. Our house backs onto fields, and whilst pottering around, I happened to look out of our back window and saw this enormous cloud. It looked almost like a tornado, so very powerful and aggressive. So I grabbed my camera and went out into the garden. It made me think of fear, substantial fear, like the dark cloud is trying to suffocate the sunlight. When you have a child with a life-limiting degenerative condition, you have to live side by side with that fear, but you just don't have to succumb to it. I'm not entirely sure how to explain this photo. I've called it Wayne because that's what's happening. We all know how dandelions work. I'm not sure if there's a child out there who hasn't tried to blow off all the seeds in one go until there's nothing left and it's vulnerable and weakened. I liken this to our journey as Freddie's parents. It's impossible to retain full strength all the time. The growth element from our journey, I feel, is beautifully represented in this tree trunk. So many parts entwined and finding its own way to grow stronger. I feel like this photo and the dandelion photo bring a direct link with the treehouse. It's a place we have seeked out as we've felt weak and we've been waning, then we leave feeling stronger, and that's how we then grow. This photo was taken in the treehouse grounds. I often look at the fairy gardens that the siblings have made, so pretty and such attention to detail. For me, it's really apt because that's also how the treehouse functions and helps. There's such attention to detail, not just for the children they care for who benefit from things such as hydrotherapy, art, music, and everything else, but it's also the same for the parents and the siblings. The entire family feel the well-being and love and security of the treehouse. This was taken at Felixstowe Beach in the rain with our friends and staff from the treehouse. The photo may look grim, cold and uninviting, but it couldn't have felt any more different on that miserable day in August. Nothing quite brings a sense of calm and freedom like paddling around in the rain, feeling secure and surrounded by people you've met on the path you never chose to take. This photo was taken at Tree Fest, the summer festival that the Tree House hold. This is my family, and this is what I think of when I think of our children's hospice. I think of sanctuary, laughter and love. I think of living our life and enjoying it. I don't think of death.